Hi.
Okay. Okay. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning for everyone who is joining us on our monthly webinar. And this webinar is being organized jointly between the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability and the Global Green Chamber of Commerce. And this is the eighth international talk on green business, sustainability, and climate action. And today we'll be having three prominent speakers. And I'm inviting Miss Michelle Thatcher for an opening remarks for this webinar. So, Michelle, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Bassam, and welcome everyone. I know it's for those of us, at least in the United States and other parts of the world, celebrating the holidays. I know it's a busy time, so we really appreciate you being with us today. And it's such a special time to bring in just three new amazing speakers for this event today. And with the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability, Global Green Chamber of Commerce, we welcome you. And we, as a collaborative, are working to bring together academicians with industry leaders, with chambers of commerce, government, NGO leaders to take action on climate change and bring new ideas and sustainable practices into place, and really all coming together as a new sustainability network. So we welcome you today, and I really look forward to the speakers. And for those of you joining us on other platforms, we welcome you there as well. And if you're joining us on LinkedIn, please feel free to engage with the comments. I'll be joining over there as well. So welcome, and I'll pass it back to you, Dr. Wassam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Michelle. And we will start with the first speaker. So the first speaker will be Dr. Muhammad Shahid Hussein. And Dr. Muhammad Shahid, he is assistant professor at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Oman. So the floor is yours, Dr. Muhammad Shahid.
Thank you, Dr. Wessam, and good evening to all. And without wasting any time, I just want to share my thoughts on this how environment is changing very, as a critical pace, and we should, make people aware that how to tackle this critical issue so that the next generations they can have a good future. Otherwise, these the changes in weather and in climate situation everywhere. So I will share some thoughts on how this AI and data analytics, because I am from that background. So I will just share how these things, these technological advancement can be used for sustaining our environment and make a bright future. So this is my topic: harnessing AI and data analytics for sustainable decision making. So what is sustainable decision making? Sustainable decision making is whenever we are taking any decision, especially for decision makers, starting from CEOs and all to individual levels. So what we need to do is we have to not think about the current situation, but we have to think about the future. How my current decision is going to impact the future. It involves considering long-term environmental, social, and economical impact when evaluating the alternatives we have to finalize our actions. By providing actionable insight, predict capabilities, and optimization strategies, the use of AI and data analytics, it can empower us to address critical environmental challenges. For example, the global AI market for environmental applications. Now AI is being used by various fields, various domain, various industries, and the expected uh, reach of this AI market by 2030 is around 5.2 billion. So this is how this technological advancement is, is spreading. AI can reduce global greenhouse gas emission by around 4% by the end of 2030. So this is how AI can be used in an impactful way to sustain our environment. The key environmental challenges and AI solution. For example, climate change. So AI for emissions monitoring and renewable energy optimization can be used. Like there are different tools, different approaches already tested and validated by researchers, which can help in monitoring the emissions of energies and how we can optimize the use of renewable energy. Biodiversity loss. AI can be used for habitat mapping and wildlife monitoring. For example, uh, by the use of sensors, we can put sensors in wildlife areas, in jungles, to monitor the activities, and maybe some illegal activities are going on, maybe some issues are going. So these things can be monitored and timely actions can be taken. Waste management, AI for recycling efficiency. We can make use of AI tools or uh, applications to make efficient system for recycling. Water management, again, this is one of the common application trend nowadays, that even at the local stage, people or small organizations, they are using IoT and other technologies for automated irrigation system and all, so that they can conserve water, they can monitor the soil status, what are the nutritions or other things we need to improve our crop growth and all. So these techniques can be used very effectively to sustain our environment and to face these challenges. Some of the sectors which are currently now, as I discussed, that almost all the domain, either they are already using AI based technologies, or they are managing to get some way or the other to involve AI in their main business process. So, for example, conversation, waste management, water management, agriculture, energy sector, these sectors are making very effective use of AI technology to optimize their processes, to maintain the resources or manage the resources in the best possible way. For example, IBM Watson for renewable energy optimization, they have the system which can increase grid efficiency for almost 20%. So, similar example is Global Forest Watch. As I told you, that we can use sensor network and other to collect data and monitor wildlife, and it has already reduced 18% illegal logging and other similar activities in wildlife areas. And not only this is one example with some data, but as I told you, that we can for different species, okay, we can monitor them, we can provide the necessary facilities or the environment for endangered species to protect them. Similarly, around 33% recycling rate can be improved by using AMP robotics. uh, Microsoft AI for Earth is is being in use, and it is protecting around 6.7 million hectare to go waste and utilize for fruitful activities. So, what are the steps of any organization like can take or follow so that they can, incorporate these AI techniques in their process to tackle with these environmental issues. Number one, we have to clearly define the sustainability goals because there are different goals. So we have to be very focused. Okay, what is my aim? Then we have to identify the relevant data sources from where we can get the data because again, AI is basically nothing but managing or making use of the data. The more data, the more relevant data you have, the better decision you can get from the system. So then we have to identify which AI tool we can use, which is already available, or sometimes we may need to optimize or customize the tool based on our particular need. Then we have to train the teams because again, uh, most of the organization they are not, well equipped with skilled persons. So we have to train the team to deal with this AI and data analytics. Again, they don't need to go from scratch. Many tools are available, so they have to understand the interface, how to put data into the system, how to manage and get the things done. Then the organization has to start with pilot projects, get them tested, okay, and then repeat the process until you are getting effective results. How small businesses can leverage AI for sustainability? Number one, adopt low cost AI tool because again, if you go for something high, which your organization cannot afford, so ultimately you cannot proceed. Maybe halfway you have to stop or you will start facing issues. So you have to identify which AI tools you can go for. Okay, there are different means variety of tools available. Many of them are open source. You can go for it. Many are licensed, but you have to pay. But again, you have to make a trade-off between how much you can spend, okay, and how much features or facilities you can use. Then focus on specific use cases. Again, small businesses cannot start all together. Okay, I will do this and this. They have to prioritize their goals, okay, and then focus on step by step progress. They can also collaborate with tech providers. They can get different vendors which are already providing AI solutions. Okay, so you can go for a particular vendor to based on your particular goal that okay, I need this optimization. Okay, so what solution they can provide and accordingly, so you don't have to make your own team, you don't have to invest on infrastructure and other things. Okay, you can get the solution. So this is another way. Leverage government incentives, seek grant and subsidies available for businesses integrating AI into sustainable efforts. Like most of the government now, they are providing or encouraging actually these kind of efforts or initiatives. So small businesses can go for some incentives provided by the government that okay, if like for example there is a small farmhouse or you have a small business, okay, and if you are incorporating, because again governments are very much uh, in to promote these kind of awareness and these kind of solution in public domain, because only government agencies cannot do the needed things which are required to sustain our environment. Everybody, every organization have to be involved. So governments, different governments, they are providing a lot of funds or different kind of training programs. So you have to look for these things so that you can get benefit of. So for example, a small farm can use AI powered IoT devices for precision agriculture to monitor soil health and reduce water usage around 30%. Even many of my colleagues, So I am currently in Oman, and Oman is a desert area, but still people, we have enough space in our home. So most of us we use gardening and all. Okay, and especially my colleagues from IT department, what they are doing, they are using IoT devices to water their garden, so we can save water, we can save lot of energy unnecessarily. Sometimes tap is open, so based on the need of a particular uh, plant, we can provide the required water and we can reduce the water wastage. How AI can be made more accessible to a small organization? We have to promote the use of open source platform, for example TensorFlow, Torch, and Google Earth Engine. They are, publicly available sources which you can make use of in your system. Cloud-based solution, as we told that we can collaborate with different vendors. Now it can be like a standalone vendor where you can meet and they can provide you in separate solution, or nowadays, because most of the big giants especially, they are providing cloud based services, so you can go for this cloud based solution without investing in infrastructure or managing the things. You can get the solution and you have to pay according to the usage. So again, these cloud based solutions are very reasonable, I can say. Training program, we have to provide low cost workshops or small businesses for leveraging AI in sustainability. And I appreciate Dr. Wissam and his team to, regularly conducting such kind of workshops to make people aware and get insight what's going on and how different people can get benefit of the things which maybe not from their own area, but they can get ideas from, like today we have different speakers from different domain. Government support, again, overall, maybe I have this perspective, but the major, uh, what you say, force means, which can start to motivate people to do anything, is government. If government motivate people with different kind of schemes and all, that will definitely affect, and that will encourage small organization, medium organizations to look for the correct solution and to work in line with the goal of the, this is now not a goal for a particular government, this is a global issue. So government support is very very necessary. What roles do policymakers play in regulating AI for sustainability? Again, uh, as I told you that government is the main driving force. And why? Because most of the standards or the support which government can provide, no other agency, you can say, cannot do it. Okay. So what kind of policies they need to make? For example, setting standards. Policymakers should define standards for AI usage in sustainability, especially because when we talk about AI and with reference to data analytics, the major concern is privacy or ethical issues. How you are dealing with the data, you got the data, how you got the data, what you are doing with that data. Okay, so there are a lot of concern. So until unless there is not clear standards or the framework, people may misuse this thing. Funding and incentives, again, developing grants and tax break to encourage
Mr.
businesses
Muhammad.
to adopt AI.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
how
Dr.
much time?
Muhammad. I think
5 minutes?
if you can conclude, uh, so that we can move to the second speaker, and then for the question and answer, we will have more time later on.
Sure, sure. So, like funding and incentive, monitoring impact, promoting collaboration, global coordination with different, government agencies, and encouraging businesses. Then, what policies are needed to support AI in environmental applications, AI energy regulation, data sharing framework, incentive for adoption if businesses adopting AI based application to sustain the environment, what incentive you are getting, okay, research and development funding, ethical guidelines. Now, some examples of local community level, what we can do with this, for example, smart water management, waste sorting project, wildlife protection, renewable energy. So these are few examples. Uh, Now, risk of over relying on AI for environmental decision, as I told you that the main concern is ethical or privacy issues. The second concern is AI or this data analytics is just how you are managing or dealing with the data. So everything is depend on data. If your data is of not good quality, ultimately the decision or the information you are getting will not be of any use. So data quality is of major concern. Then biasness, many times when we collect data from different sources, if we don't analyze the data, pre-process it properly, maybe it has a lot of biasness, and that will affect the decision. So these are some issues which we have to deal with while incorporating AI into our business process. So that's all. I appreciate Global Green Chamber of Commerce team and Global Ambassadors of Sustainability Fraternity, especially Dr. Wissam Al Mazoon, for providing me this opportunity to share my thoughts. And inshallah, I will continue to be in touch, and maybe in future I can contribute something meaningful to this mission. Thank you a lot for all of you to listen, your patience, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad Shahid, for your interesting sharings and this. It's timely. It's a timely topic that of interest of many people currently. So I think now we move to the next speaker. And the next speaker will be Miss Sonia Urius, and Miss Sonia is a circular economy expert from M Plus Technological Institute of Plastics in Spain. So the floor is yours, Miss Sonia.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So can you see my screen? Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah. Can you maybe reshare it again?
Yes, let's try. What about now?
Yeah. So now we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much to invite IMPLAS to this workshop, to this webinar. I think it's very interesting. Here, like a brief introduction, I'm going to explain a little bit more about IMPLAS and also the plastics in circular economy. Then between the main figure of circular economy, we are going to see the main success cases or success stories related to projects, in general European projects. And then we just put like main mandatory points regarding regulation. So just to start, as we already said, IMPLAS is a researcher center. We are based in Valencia, in Spain, and we are almost 35 years of experience. So we have like two different objectives. Like there are the both objectives are very related. So in one way, we develop like our main work regarding companies, just to generate like new innovations and like to create new employment in the companies. And also we work always with the focus on society as well, in the way of sustainability, in terms to improve the quality of life and ensure the environmental sustainability as well. So here we can see our facilities. We have like different pilot plants, laboratories, and also we are very active in trainings as well. So here we can see like some examples of our pilot plants, of extrusion or injection pilot plants. Then some laboratories as well, regarding like automotive laboratory or packaging laboratory. And then, as we already said, we are the experts on plastics, on the whole value chain of plastics. So we work with different sectors. So from packaging to automotive sector, also we work with agriculture as well. So we have like different departments focused on this kind of sectors in terms to develop new products or new innovations. So here we can see like just a brief figure related our expertise, because we are in the whole value chain. So we start in the polymer synthesis. Then with some examples, we are going to see more in detail the different things that we can develop in 9+. But well, we have departments beginning on the polymer synthesis. So from different waste or other sources, we can just manufacture or perform new polymers. Then we work also with the raw materials, and we have a specific compounding pilot plant in terms to improve the quality of plastics. Then, as we already said, we have like manufacturing and processing pilot plants, the extrusion, pultrusion, injection, and so on. And then at the end, we want to obtain like final prototypes for the companies, for end users. And also, of course, we have a recovery of plastic waste. I mean like mechanical, chemical, and enzymatic recycling pilot plants as well. So with all of that, I think we can cover almost the whole value chain of the plastic industry. This is just some examples that with companies that we are working. And then we are just starting the main thing, that is the circular economy and plastic. So here we can see this figure, and we want just to focus that the main thing is in eco-design. So we can just go from the eco-design in terms to improve the new products that we're going to put on the market. So here we can go like just to see the limitations, or as well we are going to talk about some regulations. So we can just focus on that in terms to design the product regarding these objectives. And then, well, the chain goes to the reuse and repair, the different ways to recycling, the mechanical recycling, chemical, organic recycling, and so on. And then, again, as we already said, the polymerization of new products. So now we are going to see more in detail. So starting with eco-design, we work in the optimization, recyclability, and sustainable materials. So here we can see some examples. For example, we have here this European project, Go Orleans, which is focused on the goat and sheep weight in terms to obtain, like by different technologies, like fermentation and then so spray drying, we obtain the final fermented whey powder in terms to obtain like an active coating. And why we want to develop this kind of projects? Because then we cover this active coating in a film, I mean, just to obtain an active packaging. And with these results, we can just go from this. I mean that we, in the first image, we can see like after 21 days, the cheese is going to be like to throw away, and then just putting like this active coating, we can just have the product like with just preserve the product. Okay. Then regarding reuse and repair, we are focused more in deposit and return systems, and also the refill systems, and then repair. Of all of this, as I said, is related to the new objectives or the new mandatory items that are put on the new regulations. Okay. So here, regarding the reuse, we have like these two options, and just to show you the main things that we can just perform, we have also this example, which is also an European project, and in that one we developed like a tailor-made platform, digital platform, and also an app, mobile app, in terms to identify any or each packaging unit. And why we perform this? Just to assure the traceability, the manufacturing, the different uses that we work with this product, and so on. So yes, so and the innovation as well was just to put the RFID label, with using this technology, the in-mold labeling. So it is in the packaging, and it is also, we want just to work also in the recyclability. So we try to make it like recyclable. And the main thing is that doing this, we can just control the different packaging put on the market, and also just reuse the packaging as well. And also the other example, not also just not to talk about just packaging, we can talk here about the electrical and electronic sector. We developed this European project in terms to starting from the eco-design, but also it was very focused on repairing the electronic devices. So we just conclude that it's very important to make like a good eco-design in terms to just to remove some of the pieces instead of quit or just throw away all the device or the electrical and electronic product. Then we can focus on waste management. This is very important as well regarding the circular economy. This is one of the main things that we have to work regarding circular economy, because there are like some different waste sources that are not well managed nowadays. And then it's very important as well to make some research regarding identification and sorting of the different waste in terms to improve quality and in terms to improve recycling. So, and also we work just to prevent the littering as well. So some examples regarding this, we focus the examples regarding fishing gears. So, sorry, some of the examples regarding fishing gears are these benches. Also, we develop with all other companies this kind of urban bench. So this is made of fishing gears and other kind of waste, but it's 100% recycling product. And then other kind of projects is this OceanNets project. Sorry. And during this project, we work in prevention and also chemical and mechanical recycling. So in that case, we show here the chemical recycling products. So from the fishing gears, we obtain a pellet, a compound with this active masterbat, with this active pigment that it works just to assure the traceability of the final product. In this case, we obtain like products for the textile sector. So this is some of the examples that working on waste management that we can just assure like new products with this kind of sources that we are not just using nowadays. And then, of course, we can focus on mechanical and chemical recycling. So here, we have like different kind of technologies regarding mechanical recycling. We can focus on the contamination of materials, of hazardous materials. We can focus also on the contamination in terms of food grade applications, on also the compatibilization between different plastics, just to obtain a final product, a proper final product. And also regarding the chemical recycling, where we have like different ways. We can go like with thermal ways like pyrolysis or gasification. We can also work in solvolysis, for example, or in biological and enzymatic recycling or valorization. So here also, this is other kind of recycling, which is the physical recycling that I forgot to put it. That is just to say in some way in the middle between mechanical and chemical recycling. So with all of these kind of valorization methodologies, we can also assure the circular economy. But as we started in the eco-design, so we don't have to lose this thing because from the beginning of the main thing that we have to focus is in eco-design, because if we prepare we prepare a good product, then the recycling processes is going to be also better. So this is the thing that we want to also to say. And well, regarding recycling examples, we have here some example just focused on aeronautical sector. So here from the wind blades and also from the aeronautics sector, we obtain, well, we go to the both ways, to mechanical recycling and chemical recycling in detail pyrolysis and solvolysis. And then we obtain fiberglass powder, and we can use this fiberglass powder to ceramics to obtain final products for the ceramic sector, or also to enamels. And then we obtain some glycols from the solvolysis, and then from here we can obtain some inks as well, just to use in packaging sector, for example, or the sector regarding plastics, or the kind of sector as well. And at the end, we obtain like a carbon fiber. So from here, we can just go to the same sector and just manufacture again the wind blades or other kind of products for the aeronautics. And then other two examples is these two projects, is Life Ecomethylal, and in that project we focus, we work with this kind of waste which are not not very recyclable, like mixed waste and so on. And we develop with a company a pilot plan regarding like a plasma catalytic hydrogasification process. And from this process, they can obtain like the methylal, and then so this is like other example. And then again, we go to other example regarding Life ELV, where we focus on the end of life of vehicles and the plastic part as well, in terms to just to improve the times in terms of recycling, and also improve the final products from the plastic products from the vehicles. At the end, we want also to mention the biomass sector again, in terms to obtain like new products, new plastic products. So the main thing is that here, any product that we have with sugar, to say in some way, we can obtain like a new plastic, okay, a new polymer. So here are some examples regarding, well, for example, the juice from processing, from the juice processing, the waters from the juice processing, for example. Then we can work also with the baking industry, as we already saw in the example with the whey from different sources, and also from the beer we can obtain like different kind of polymers, the biopolymers, and then again go to the new chain of the circular economy. Just to finish my presentation, I just wanted to put like the main regulatory things. It is true that it's more focused in Europe, sorry about that, but this is the main things that we are working now in Europe: the packaging and packaging waste regulation. We have the European Green Deal as well, then this directive regarding single-use plastic, and also the regulation regarding eco-design, which it is now the new thing about the digital product passport as well, that is going to be mandatory in the following years. So just to mention some details for the packaging and packaging waste regulation that I think is the most important one. I put here like it applies to all packaging. And the main things is that for 2030, all the packaging put on the market have to be will be recyclable. And then this is the main criteria, just to a packaging to be recyclable. And then the other thing is regarding labeling and marking. So it's going to be a lot of different things regarding labeling and marking. So, but we put here that if you want to put on the market a product with recycling content, you are going to be under this standard in terms, just to assure that it is certified in some way. So that's all from my side. I think it was a little bit interesting for you. So thank you. And I'm here just to hear some our emails, just to, if you have any doubts. And thank you again to invite us to this webinar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Sonia, for these interesting stories, success stories, and these applications. Where today maybe we have some rich presentations because of the diversity of topics, which is more on the practical side of sustainability, and because many people always blame that people talk about sustainability in a theoretical perspective, but here we are bringing some practical examples. So now I think we move to the third and last speaker for today, Dr. Loma Hamdi. And Dr. Loma is a lead researcher at the National Agriculture Research Center in Jordan. So the floor is yours, Dr. Loma.
Yeah, thank you for having me to talk about this important subject. I'm going now to share my screen. Okay, as we are a research center working in agriculture, so I'm going, unlike my colleagues, to highlight the sustainability and the climate actions in the agricultural sectors in specific. So this is the outline to talk more about sustainable agriculture, the challenges in the world and in MENA region for having more challenging weather, desert, arid and semi-arid regions, and the solutions, the role of crop and water modeling using technology, and some examples and success stories that in MENA region, and especially in Jordan, from NARC. This is maybe how the agricultural sector has changed from very old times till now, and the need for use the machines and the computers in the third revolution of agriculture, and also smart systems and the smart devices in the fourth revolution nowadays. So we are focusing those days in using smart technology for agriculture to reach the sustainability. In agriculture, the sustainability should include the environmental health to reduce emissions, the economic profitability, and the socio-economic equity to reach such sustainability, to improve food productions, improve environmental health, minimize site environmental impacts, reduced environmental risks, and high production benefits and low-cost productions, and optimize resource use. So always we are looking for sustainable agriculture. It becomes one of our main goals in worldwide. But there are many challenges. First, about resource depletions, economic pressures, policy and governance, and the most important is climate change. For example, this is from Canada, that the most main and critical sustainability challenges in agri-food are climate change, social inequality, and biodiversity loss. Because we are having high CO2 emissions, we are encountering an increase in the average temperature globally. And here we are having also a decrease, a huge decrease or notable decrease in biodiversity worldwide. It started from 100%, for example, in 1970, and reached below 20% in 2020 because of the weather, the changing in weather and the climate. We are having also we are losing our renewable freshwater resources worldwide. In main countries and in the world, all is decreasing. And for about agriculture and about the production of cereal, which contains one of the most strategic crops like wheat and corn, we are having a challenging production compared with population with time worldwide. This is the case in the world. So the challenges because of the climate change mainly focus on crop yields, the variability leading to food insecurity, pest and disease proliferation because changing climates favoring new pests and diseases, water scarcity, altered hydrological cycles affecting irrigations and soil fertility, increased erosions, and the nutrient depletions. Now, the case that we have displayed was for the world. In a specific region, like here, Jordan is an example, the population is increasing rapidly because of the instability in the region, and we are having low cereal production and cereal yield with time because of the limited, mainly agricultural areas. And we are having this challenge to increase the efficiency of the yield, to increase the productivity, the amount per unit area. Because of the temperature is rising, because of low water resources, we are facing high water scarcity in the region, in Jordan in specific. We have challenges in agricultural productivity and the effect, the socio-economic impacts. So mainly the solutions first go to the technology, the use of a precision agriculture. This term is about calculating, computing the exact input in the farm and field level in order to minimize as much as possible the input and to enhance resource use efficiency, to reduce environmental impacts and increase the productivity. So mainly precision agriculture is one of the solutions to increase productivity and having more environmentally friendly solutions for farmers and farm owners. Within this term, precision agriculture, we have the smart agriculture. Smart agriculture covers all levels in agriculture: the post-harvest, food and feed, human and animal nutrition, water resources, and agricultural productions. By having some solutions go to virtual reality, using modeling, crop and water modeling, using sensors and the Internet of Things technologies to collect data. This big data analysis that help us to analyze real systems and minimize the amount and monitor our current systems in agriculture and other sectors, also in the big data analytics. So we have the term also climate smart agriculture. In the climate smart agriculture, we are not only focusing on using technology and using numbers to calculate the exact amounts and minimize let's say the resource exploitation, but more it is about all the practices at the farm and the field level that we have to follow in order to increase our adaptation, to mitigate climate change, to get the three pillars we have mentioned at the beginning for socio-economical impacts, environmental friendly methods, and the most important is about the economic profitability. So in climate smart agricultures, the adaptation methods with mitigations to reach food security, we expect to increase productivity, increase net return, improve input use efficiency, reduction in emissions, increase resilience, increase gender and social inclusions. Of course, it includes all the practices, and the most important is waste management, maybe going for, let's say, organic farms, using organic fertilizers, minimize the amount of chemical fertilizers, all the practices that farmers need in their farms. It is related to the climate smart agriculture. So in my specializations, I'm working in crop modeling. Crop and water modeling purpose is to be used as the decision support tools to help the farmers and decision makers and stakeholders to choose the best decision and to choose the best practices, management practices in the agriculture in general and in the farm and field levels. So it can help in yield predictions, in irrigation management, and in climate impact assessment. So the agricultural modeling, it is not only about the crop models. It can be for land suitability models to generate land suitability maps, for water balance models to crop water to calculate the exact crop water requirements, and for irrigation management to reduce losses, and also the crop simulation models that can predict crop yield and help in crop management strategies in order to reach food security. So the examples for crop models that are used worldwide is the DSAT cropping system model. It is the decision support system for agro-technology transfer. It is a robust model, widely used. It is a dynamic model, process-based. It is a little bit sophisticated with a modular approach. It has a model as the main component of the DSAT, and it has modules inside this model that cover all the interactions between the plants and the environment. The main use for the DSAT model is to optimize irrigation management, for greenhouse climate control, to quantify best damage effects on the productions, for yield forecasting, precision farming, and land use planning by using GIS. Always in modeling, we need to have the input data, and as my colleagues mentioned, as much as our data is accurate, the output will be accurate. So we need to to have daily weather data for DSAT, daily rainfall, solar radiations, maximum and minimum temperature. We need to have some soil data, especially for physical, chemical characteristics, mainly the soil texture. Also, some management conditions, date of sowing, irrigation system, the amount of irrigation applied, water quality, type of fertilizers and time, organic matters, and the time of harvesting. Also, more data about the genotype that we are using the cultivar for specific parameters controlling growth and development. As we are having those input data, we are expecting from this model to give us the plant growth with time base. It can predict the number and the grain weight, the above the ground biomass, and the weight of the root, and also about the plant developments, time to flowering and maturity. At the end, what is the most important for farmers are the yield. Also, the model can have some environmental impacts, can give the net income, which is the most important for farmers, and how we can, let's say, enhance resource use efficiency. This is the idea, as we have climate variables for different scenarios, RCPs 4.5 and RCP 8.5, all can be as the climate data in the DSAT model. We can have those inputs as we have discussed before, and to expect, for example, the weight to increase or decrease to have these figures at the end. Other models that also can be used as to predict the production of different crop in the short and long term. The other model is ABSEM. It is very close in its work with the DSAT as a process-based dynamic model with a modular approach. Maybe the difference mainly between ABSEM and DSAT that ABSEM can also simulate the changes in soil erosion and linked with the crop production more accurately, while the DSAT focus mainly on the crop growth and development. The other crop model can be used in agriculture, which is a highly friendly user and developed by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, is AquaCrop. It is a agrohydrological model. Simulates the crop yield response to water and particularly suited to address conditions where water is a key limiting factor in crop production. This is the main input components in the AquaCrop for climate, crop, soil, and management, very similar to others, but with a more friendly display for users with agricultural background. And this is the AquaCrop output data. Mainly, it gives only the final biomass and yield, unlike the previous two models, but mainly focus on the changes in the amount of water in the soil and the changes in the transpirations and the crop cover with time. Always in the world of modeling in agriculture, we are focusing to integrate the climate models with the biophysical models and economic models to get the best results for decision makers and stakeholders who are working in agriculture. And as we mentioned, applying technology is the most important to achieve agricultural sustainability. We can also apply other practices, which is considered, by the way, part of the climate smart agricultures, like having intercropping or multi-cropping systems, agroforestry, and the use of natural-based solutions. Mainly, as we mentioned, the organic fertilizers, composting, and other practices for farmers. This is an example for agroforestry worldwide. In arid regions, it can be used as windbreaks, and this is an example later on. I will provide it. We have here some projects in Jordan, success stories considered in agriculture by using a weave nexus approach, where we can combine water, energy, food, and environment all together in agriculture in order to not only to reach, let's say, food security or water security. We have to look for energy security and also to look for all those main sectors with this environmental touch to decrease emissions and trying to mitigate the effect of climate change. This is one of these projects, which is called Sahara Forest Project in Jordan. It has 3 core technologies: saltwater cooled greenhouse technologies, solar power technologies, and technologies for growing vegetations in arid environments. Some examples also, one of the cases that is I have worked with my colleagues at NARC and other institutions in Jordan and Netherlands to use remote sensing and GIS to have a climate-smart agroforestry to enhance resilience and the productivity of farms in Al-Mafraq governorate in Jordan. The main idea that the methodology relied mainly on satellite data and QGIS to get this output. This indicates the importance of using technology by collecting weather data for this governorate, collecting the soil map and the land use, land cover by using GIS and remote sensing to get at the end an agroforestry suitability map that can be applied to the whole country, to the whole region, to the world wide by using technologies. So we need to widen the use of such technologies and to enhance the capacity of people who are working in agriculture to use it. This is the final result for these areas are the most important to have it to establish an agroforestry system to reduce the effect of wind storms in these areas. Now, at the end, I'm going through the role of NARC, my center where I'm working. It is the National Agricultural Research Center. It is the scientific arm of the Ministry of Agriculture in Jordan. It has its main vision to improve the agricultural scientific research in parallel with the Sustainable Development Goals. And of course, the main goal is the partnership, is the collaboration between NARC and all other centers who are looking to improve the agricultural research worldwide. And we have many success stories and successful partnerships with the European Union, with Interreg Mid Next and the PRIMA programs. Mainly the work of NARC because of the problem in water scarcity is to improve the researches in non-conventional use of water, treated wastewater in agriculture, grey water, saline water, and the systems of aquaponics, aquaculture, and hydroponics. Also improving the water harvesting techniques in different levels, let's say in the regional levels and at farm level, and also working to increase biodiversity for different species, using also smart agricultural techniques. We are having mobile applications to calculate water irrigation managements in the agricultural regions in Jordan, like WAFIR, with the collaboration of Food and Agricultural Organization. And we have another mobile applications that acts as early warning system for farmers in order to be alarmed with the extreme weather conditions, especially the the long days of drought, high temperature, frost, floods that they may encounter during the year, and which is increasing with the climate change impact. Also, we have the eLab in order to analyze or using laboratories online and help farmers to test their soils and their products. The most important is developing local breeds for conservation of nature and conserving the original plants and animals. Maybe the most important was developing 3 species, or let's say 3 varieties of barley and other 3 varieties of wheat that can tolerate drought and salinity and can have a higher yield under these extreme conditions we are suffering from. Finally, we have the National Seed Bank that will open next month with the collaborations of Hashimoth University in order to save the original seeds and to conserve the indigenous species of different crops that are important for the future in order to keep the original species that can tolerate harsh conditions maybe much better than other widely used species. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loma, for this presentation and sharing all these great ideas regarding agriculture, climate, food security, technology, where you are doing an amazing job in terms of the applied research
Thank you.
and those challenges facing the region and Jordan in that scenario. So I think now we move to the part of the Q&A. So I'm handing over to Ms. Michelle to moderate the Q&A session.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for those very important and informative presentations today. And we have been getting so many questions, so I will jump right in. And I think, Loma, this one will be for you since you just gave your presentation. And this one is from Indira. And the question is, if you had the power to make one change to MENA's agricultural sector tomorrow to ensure both food security and climate resilience, what would it be?
For MENA region, actually, the challenges are so many and they are all interconnected. But I believe that going for a nexus approach is the most important, not only because always sectors are working by themselves. So the idea of making decision makers and stakeholders aware of WIFI nexus approach to go for water security, food security, energy security is the most important. So I will have this as a priority for me. Yeah.
Thank you. And I think this can go for either speaker. There's 2 questions. Well, I'll just start with one. These are both from Eric. And how can businesses transition from a linear to a circular economy while remaining profitable?
Well, if I may, well, just to say something regarding this, the business transition. I think we are working from years ago in this kind of things regarding just change from linear to a circular economy. And well, I think like different industries are just working very hard in this sense. I mean, just some new investment as well, and also the changing their mind in terms of traceability as well, and so on. So I think we are like close to a circular economy, a real circular economy in these years. Also because, as I said, there is a lot of different regulations that we have to to reach the different objectives, and I think they are pushing us in terms just to go to this circular economy as well, the circular economy model. So from my side, I think is that the business is also in. I think they are also working very hard in that.
And just to continue to follow up with that line of thinking when you're talking about the regulations, the second part to the question is what policies or technologies have been most effective in promoting circular economies in Europe?
Well, so right now we are very focused on the packaging sector because for like tradition is the sector where we have like more waste, and we also have the waste is very controlled as well, both things. So I think in that way it are like a lot of different regulations. As I say, the packaging and packaging waste regulation in Europe, and also in Spain we have also specific things with some taxes regarding the packaging that we put on the market and so on. And I think the focus in Europe is in the packaging sector, but also we are working on in all the different sectors, of course, in the vehicles and so on. And the technologies, the main technology regarding recycling is the mechanical recycling, of course. But in the latest years, we are working very hard also in the chemical recycling, and just is regarding the objectives, because if you have like very high objectives in the regulations, we can just afford these objectives with the mechanical recycling. We have like complementary technologies. So that's why we are working nowadays like very hard also in the chemical recycling in terms just to reach these objectives and to have like more opportunities for the recycling sector as well.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And I think Loma, I have a question from Hina Zia, and the question is, what is the percentage of plastics from across various sectors getting reused and recycled?
Okay, this is question for me or for Sonia?
Probably, maybe Sonia, if you have that answer.
I don't have an idea exactly for.
Yeah, I thought that was a
Yes.
difficult one, but yeah.
Yes, I
Maybe it
can.
depends on the country, I would imagine, correct?
Yes, it will depend the country, but also I can share with here like some statistics or some data regarding Europe. We have like some reports as well, but yes, across the sectors, as I said, the sector with more percentage of plastics is the packaging sector, and then we go also to construction and the automotive sector.
Thank you. And, oh, go ahead.
No,
And Loma, this is another one from Indira. What would a fully climate adapted agriculture sector in the MENA region look like in 2050? And what steps need to happen today to get there?
Okay, the fully climate adapted agricultural sector in MENA region would look like with the very should have a lot of climate actions till we reach 2050. Maybe I think we are talking about MENA region as one region. Let's say the most important in common in this region is the weather. But actually, maybe there are different levels of achievements when we want to compare the countries with each other. Some still we are looking to reach the advanced irrigation systems till 2050, and others they are already have them. But maybe using technology should be one of those all around the MENA region in agriculture, the Internet of Things, applying sensors, having precision agriculture. And for me, I think one of the most important is going to reforestation, to applying agroforestry systems. Trees are so important to conserve our biodiversity and to be one of the main parts for climate adaptation actions in MENA region and worldwide.
Yes, thank you so much. And this question is from Muhammad Islam Ali. And the question is it true that a plastic-eating bacteria has been discovered? I don't know if either one of you have the answer to that. Well, I think I'll have to look that up. And I have read that as well. But then we have a sustainable solutions team with the U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce, and I feel like we have not come across that as a solution. So we will have to keep our eye out for that, Mohammed. Since we were just talking about the Internet of Things and more technology, I know I had a great question here from one of the participants. Oh, yes. This is for all. Even though we've, due to an emergency, we lost our other speaker. So, but this does apply to the rest of you as well. And this is from Indira. What would you personally do if you had access to cutting edge AI tech tools for tackling an environmental issue? So what would you personally do if you have access to cutting edge AI tools for tackling an environmental issue?
Okay, I can have a reply for this question. For me, I will use the AI tools in many ways. Maybe the AI tool can help me to set the priorities for which is the most important part that I have to focus on it among all these challenges in agriculture, for example, for me. So because we know that we have a lot of data, we have many challenges, so it helps me to set the priorities and it helps me to provide the best solutions. We need the AI and we need also researchers, experts, and the humans to work all together. Maybe using AI will help me to analyze the data, the database that we have in agriculture, and as I mentioned, and to set the priorities in a short time, shorter than how much we need. So I can use it for this, especially if I want to work in a nexus approach to consider all other sectors and to collect this data and interconnect these data with each other to know which one is the most important.
Brilliant. And Sonia, I have another one, unless you want to answer that question too.
Well, just to add something, I think I agree with Luma said. I think we can use this approach for any sector. I think so, just for the plastic sector as well, or maybe just regarding the different waste sources and so on, just to connect that like industrial symbiosis as well, just to know how to use better the waste from one waste energy or water from one company to another, these kind of things. But I'm not an expert from AI, so I'm not sure. But I think we work in these kind of things.
Thank you, Sonia. And oh, go ahead. And Shweta Sharma had asked, how can we scale up circularity and reduce consumer waste with accountability of all stakeholders?
Well, I can go for that one. Uh, from Mind Plus, we are researcher center. So the main thing that we do in this way is just perform different projects. So direct projects with the company just to scale up the innovations and so on, and or European projects with the different companies regarding the value chain. So this is like a first step, just to go with a company, a specific company, or just to work all together in terms to focus on some of a problem, of an issue, and then develop a solution and scale up in the industry. So this is like some way, and then also we work in the just the dissemination, just to aware people, just to say them like the very important thing, and also in the prevention. So we need to work in the prevention as well in terms to reduce the plastic waste in that way. So we are also very active in that things. And the other thing is just again with the different regulations, we are going just to be informed of the different characteristics of a product regarding traceability, recycling content, and so on. So it's going to be in like more in our side in terms just to have some decisions, just to buy some products on other products. So it's going to be also like our decision is going to be like higher than right now.
Thank you. And this, I think, can be for both of you. And I think we're just about out of time here. So I think this will be the last question. Eric had asked, what role can research institutions play in promoting sustainable agricultural solutions in arid regions?
Yeah, a lot. They, of course, research center is very important. They have to go for research for development, for innovation, to encourage innovation, and to go more for researches, applied researches, more than other types of researches that are problem solving and can help. To solve the many problems that maybe people are suffering from each sector, depends on the kind of the research center. In agriculture, for example, the most important is to go for innovation, research for development, and to go for the research at the end to solve the problem. This is the most important, not just to publish papers.
Oh, I cannot agree with you more on that. I know that I just returned from a trip in India and Nepal and Bangladesh, and there's just so many important papers sitting on the shelf that are not getting out there in the public for us to be able to utilize. And Sonia, on that question maybe just a little bit different from the agricultural side, but utilizing institutions in this way to get and deliver the messages. Do you have any ideas or thoughts about how to disseminate that information, or just, how can we best utilize these research institutions?
Just to disseminate. Well, we work very hard with our webpage, and also yes, and also we try to make, not like we develop also scientific articles and so on, but also like articles like is gonna to help people just to understand different situations, just short articles like blogs and so on, in terms just to goes to any kind of people or citizens, just to understand the different steps. So this is one way. On the other side, maybe we just also work with radio, TV, and so on, in terms just to disseminate the main things or the main innovations, in terms just to goes to the companies, and just to see like the different things that research centers can offer, because it's more like laboratory and so on. We study in laboratory, but we have like more TLAs like 9, 8, or so on. So we can go directly to the company. So our ways are very, very different ways. And also we participate in workshops, in webinars, and so on, just in terms of disseminating the different things that research centers can do.
That's why you're here today. So thank you for sharing this information.
Thank you.
And I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Wissam, and I just want to say thank you to both of you and to all of our participants today. We've had so many online, and we've had such incredible dialogue going back and forth on the comments, and that's just one of several platforms that is live right now. So I just want to say thank you for joining us. And Dr. Wissam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Michelle. Yeah, I'd like to thank again the speakers for their interesting sharings for today, for the diversity in the topics. And I would like also to thank all the participants. And I think this is one of the good ways to end the year in terms of the activities. And I think this will be our last event for this year. But we will continue. I think we will have another webinar in 3 weeks' time, so early next year. And I would like to wish happy holidays for everyone, and happy festives for those who are celebrating. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and definitely we'll see you in our upcoming event, and we'll have more experiences to be shared, and more networks to be established. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.